Hey guys, welcome back to a new video of Dania. Um, I'm doing a little bit different things today and not working on the Viking area since I have done some stuff off camera. And now I'm kind of working on the transition from this Plaza thing here that goes to Kattegat, the Viking area. So my plan here is kind of like just to make it look pretty and have this open plaza. I really like open plazas and I already have two of them in this park. So I feel like I also could manage to do one at this little area here. So there have been some stuff done off camera, guys, because I really didn't know what I could record here and what would be interesting enough for you guys to look at, and so on and so on. So what you see me do here today is making and adding one more ride to the park. You know how much I wanted the shooting ride in Dania, but I just can't work with the shooting ride at all with these 16 frames I get. So instead I felt like I could add a ride. And since I don't have this ride in the park, I felt like it would be a nice idea to have this sort of little area here with some of the newer rides. Like we got the, what is it called? The Golden Eagle, the one that is quite the same as Fata Morgana in Tivoli Gardens. I placed that here, but that's something you already have seen me placed in some episodes ago. And then I made this sort of little ride skin for the, is it Monteleone it's called? The ride that is next to this ride here. So mainly what I'm trying to do is mainly just make it look pretty, make it look nice. And for some weird way, I felt like these arches with the, the light arches, what are they called? Carnival arches? I don't know what they're called. But the ones with the lights on. I overused those a lot in this entire area here. Because I felt like it needed something. It needed to look nice. It needed to look super pretty here. And you all know that at the Botanical Garden area, there's also this huge area. Open plaza with some midway games and such. And I was thinking about making some midway games too, but to be honest, those midway games are very tedious to do. And I already have a few around the park. And I felt like this was just gonna be a big plaza with a few rides. And this ride skin here, guys, I honestly don't know what I was going for. Sorry. I just went on and just tried to do whatever I could here and try to make it look nice and make it look proper as something you would actually see in a theme park. I don't know about the color scheme. I felt like the colors went well with this and also with the surroundings and all that stuff. So I went with this sort of light brown or like golden color here. Of course, I'm using the R shapes, so we can't get that super crazy golden color as I wanted it. And I felt like if I started to use the adventure pieces, then it would be too many pieces to work with and such. I just wanted to keep it simple and basic, and just have this sort of ride here at the plaza here, where we also have the Monteleone and the Golden Eagle, I think it's called. But also this is kind of like just something I wanted to show you guys as well, this build here, and also because it does do something to the area here, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit around in normal time later on in the video here. I just felt like I wanted to show you guys the build here and kind of like share my ideas about it. So I've been traveling a lot over the summer to a lot of theme parks, and it definitely inspired me to make a ride skin like this, because this is mainly what you see rides be like, right? They don't really have this sort of it's mainly just basic theming some of these rides have. Of course, there's the one in Tivoli Gardens, the TikTok ride, which is mainly a little bit what I tried to do with the ride on the right side here. Maybe you see a little bit of it, but I will show you guys that in the little tour I will give you afterwards. Nothing crazy, I just want to give you guys the immersive feeling of how this plaza and the transition to the Viking area actually looks. I know the frame rate will not be pretty good, but you know what, fuck it. It is what it is, guys. everyone has these sort of issues with the frames at some point. So we just have to get the best out of it, right? So, but let's go back to the ride skin here. First of all, it's the Swift Drifters, as I recall it. It's named, and I hadn't actually never thought about using the ride in Dania. But as I say, it has this super plain feel, and it's super easy to decorate because there's nothing to decorate. I mean, there's a lot to decorate, but there's not a lot on the ride. It doesn't have all these sort of extra things like like the Twister or like the Leon has, or they don't have that midsection that connects it. It only has that ride all the way around, so you can actually detail and theme this ride to pretty much whatever you feel like. And I also had some ideas. I actually wanted to theme this ride a total different way, but not in Dania, just as a normal blueprint actually. But now I felt like I could try to do something to it here as well, kind of like make it fit in Dania. And I called the ride Crazy Cars, and I also used too much time on the sign, and the sign is not even, it's not good. I'm just saying like that. The sign it's really mediocre, to be honest. I hate doing signs, and I hate working with the basic shapes, especially when you have to be precise with the small bits. I do not like that. But you guys will see what I'm talking about. I actually think I have a lot of the signage making in this video here. As I say, I used too much time on it, so it was kind of meh, but it works. Here I'm adding the Victorian fences here, kind of like to add a little bit extra addition to the overhang here, because I also did that to the Monteleone ride, which I called the Black Diamond, which mainly just goes quite well with the theming I did to it. It kind of have the shape of a diamond, so that's kind of like the name for that ride. Only ride I'm struggling about to figure out a name for, it's the Golden Eagle ride, which you can see here, but you will see that at the end of the video. I promise you that. And there's also some things I need to do over. I asked some people in Discord in Hertz, and some gave me some suggestions, and I kind of agree. So that's something I will do after this video. But I will explain to you guys what I will do. And I don't know how much more I will show you of this, guys, because as I say, I just needed a little bit of a break, and I actually felt like I actually could finish this transition here between these two areas and actually make it look quite decent, which I actually felt I did here. It actually came out looking quite nice, if I have to say it myself. And I know I have sort of these lot of these vintage areas, big areas. We have the botanical garden, which is sort of vintage. Then we have the centerpiece area, which is also quite classical and vintage. And then we have this area, which is more, it has the vintage vibe, but it also has this sort of modern vibe, because I did make some buildings and such too that goes well with all of this. And it also have the area on the back side of the main street, which I will also do some stuff about, guys. But I just don't want to place some big concrete buildings as you have seen me do some places. So some of them will get some theming, like just some windows and all that in the back, because it just looks way too plain having it as just bare building. So I'm definitely gonna add some windows and some trims and stuff, and of course some realistic to the ugly concrete buildings. We have some pipes and some ventilations, stuff like that, because the more I've been to theme parks, the more I actually care about the realism part. And as you guys know, Dania have been going on for like 14 months now or something. And we are also getting there. It's episode 88 now, I think. And 12 more to go, guys, as I promised you. I will finish it off when we reach the 100th episode. So, not a long way to go, guys. But anyways, I felt like that this area, if I had this area finished, then I would actually be finished with having all the areas as I want them. So now it's mainly just the boring part we come to. It's the dark ride sections in the entire park I need to go to and redo and add some more stuff. Like the Snow Queen ride is like, it's mainly just the 31st seconds of the ride that is themed. And I also need the story. I also need to get Chant to do the narration for me. And I kind of gave up on making characters myself, and also something I asked Chant to do. But that's kind of like on a standby right now. So, but that's also kind of like the thing, because wow, my skills of making characters in this game is so ridiculously bad. I made some Smurfs once. They were pretty good, but that's it. So if I can get someone to make those for me, that would be quite cool. With the pieces we have in game, I'm not into using some sort of character some guy made in ThemeMaker's Toolkit that doesn't have the Planko vibe at all. So yeah, that's definitely also a thing. So as I say, the park itself is actually there, guys. It is there. I have what I need in the park. I don't need to add more stuff, like more rides. I don't need... This is the last ride. I said that with the Viking area too, with the whirly rig, I know. But this is legit the last ride Dania will have. So I felt like it definitely needed a little bit of a... How do you say? Some theming, some detailing, because I didn't just want to have it to look super plain here. And I actually must say, the more I added to this dog ride now, I'm saying, to this flat ride, the more I actually liked it. It's not the best flat ride skin I've made, but it goes with the surroundings, and it doesn't need to be super crazy all the time, right? Even though it's called Crazy Cars. Okay, that was very bad. Sorry, my bad humor here. But I kind of like how it looks now with the Crazy Car sign, because I feel like now when I just made the sign look like this, it kind of looked like a little bit wacky and all, just like, you know, plop. Doesn't need to be super straight and perfect and polished, and I kind of like how this was. So in the first start of this blueprint, no, it's not even a blueprint. I don't know. Maybe I'll add it. Maybe I'll make it a blueprint. I think it needs a little bit more stuff inside though, until I can make it a blueprint. You guys will know why. Because I'm not doing so much stuff on the interior as well. I was kind of like done and tired when I came to the interior part of the build here. So I don't know if I'll just have the cars here, as I'm calling them, just drive around and not have any specific thing going on inside. I do make some support, I do add some lighting, but it's so plain, guys. It's nothing crazy. So now you guys know. It's, to be honest, I didn't want to go crazy on this interior wise, because as I say, I was like, nah, let's just give this some sort of exterior so it looks nice, and then the interior can be whatever it wants, you know. Like, maybe I'll add a car or two in there just in the middle so they actually drives around something. I don't know. That's for another thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy on this particular ride skin here. I felt like it fitted well for the surroundings, and yeah, I'm happy how it looks. And I'm also quite satisfied on the entire situation we are in right now, with Dania almost being done. So yeah, guys, it's great news, right? It's really great news for me, and also I hope for you, because I can't wait to start a new series, and I can't wait to end a series. So, oh man, I'm literally just sitting here and smiling with everything I can here, because I'm happy that I've come this far with this park, that I can actually seeing it being done now. I mean, I could even publish it now and still be some sort of satisfied. There are still some holes everywhere, but you know my point. Like, it's actually so close. I don't know if there will even be 12 more episodes to get to the 100. We will definitely be finished before the 100, and there will not be more episodes than that. So yeah, okay, that was enough of me just being super happy here about how far we've come. But yeah, guys, I am just it's so happy to be there, you know. And also some things I can explain is that, like the Viking area, of course, I need the river rapids. It needs to be detailed. And maybe I'll make an episode of that or two, because it's kind of fun, you know. I like to detail the river rapids, and I also need a name for it. And I also need to make a little bit of a big statue guy that's gonna fit for the Hulker, the GCI coaster, which Combat Wombat made for me, which kind of like has some sort of a Woden inspiration. So that's awesome too, right? And I also think that Hulker, the coaster there I mentioned, is pretty much the big coaster we have in this park. It's the main ride that people come to visit Dania for. Let's say it like that. Because the other ones I have is it's decent, it's mediocre. Like the dive coaster is probably, it's very, very small. It's a very small layout, but I kind of felt like I didn't want it to go overboard, because we don't have so crazy coasters in Denmark, or at least where I'm from in the Copenhagen area, where we kind of like we have Bakken, we have Tivoli, and then we have this weird park called Bong Bongland. So we don't see that a lot. So that was what I was trying to keep about this park, was kind of keep it to some sort of a real look on how coasters would actually look here where I'm at, and not Djurs or Forup, where they actually have some quite awesome coasters. They got Piraten, Juvelen, and so on and so on. So but I felt like that the more I added, the better it got here, you know. So, and here I'm trying to figure out some way to make like a big black diamond, but no, it didn't work for me, guys, at all. So I was like, nah, that's for another day. But you kind of get a little bit of what I've done here with this little black diamond ride skin, as I called it. And I actually did that on a stream on my Twitch. So if that's something you would like to go and re-watch, you can do that on my Twitch, guys, which link is down below in the description there. So I will also do some more streaming there as well of other games, and also showcasing people's creation from the community and whatnot. So go check out that too, guys, if you haven't already. So yeah, here I was also in a little bit of a struggle on what I could add to this plaza here, because I feel like right now it was way too open. I needed some more stuff. I needed some interaction with the pathing and stuff. So what I did here was making a little flower bed, nothing crazy, and just starting to get a template on how it would look. You can see here, right? And afterwards I add these arches again, which actually turned out to be super cool. I haven't seen people do this. Excuse me if people already have done this a million times before. I just haven't seen it. And I actually think that this makes the flower bed so cooler looking when you have these arches kind of like making a light. And I actually also tried to do it at the lakeside. You know, Tivoli Gardens have these at the lake at the Chinese area. Where they have these sort of light bulbs in a little arch going all the way around the lake. It looks super neat. And that's kind of like what I was trying to do here with the flower beds instead. We're slowly going towards the end here, guys. But as I say, I will show a little bit around how it looks instead of just a cinematic view this time. Or some cinematics. So, and as I say, I went overboard with these arches here, guys. Please let me know what you guys think of it. I can probably remove a few of them if you guys think it's way too overkill. But in some weird way, I kind of like how it looks. Because I kind of like that all the big plazas in Dania has sort of different themes, kind of. Where this is like, you know, super shiny and there's a lot of light here. And this is going to be like the plaza where this is quite like after the main street, right? So this is actually the first plaza people see. And I want it to be super, you know, immersive, inviting. And even at nighttime too, I wanted it to be the same as well. So I like it. But let me know what you guys think of all these arches here. And yeah, I'm curious. Because it's nothing, you don't see this getting used, like overly used. I've seen it at a few parks, but not too many though. let me know, guys. Just fencing up the queue here. After I fenced it up too, it actually did a lot to it as well. It's so crazy what fencing and trees and foliage does in this game, right? Like, it just makes it look super different and better too. So I like that. I also think that there is a coaster in the Legoland area, which it's very difficult for me to ride the coasters now and actually see if they are smooth enough, if the banking is all right, and etc. etc. So there will probably be a little bit of that too in a video where you will see me detail the last coaster in the Legoland area, which I'm actually quite excited about. Because I feel like that I have been working quite a lot on this particular area for quite a while now, that I might even consider changing it up a little bit and go back to the Legoland area and actually finish that area. It was the first area I started with, and it's the last area I end with. You know, so it's kind of funny, but as you guys know, I've been burned out on Legoland for quite a while, because it's so tedious and you have to like keep on building that specific style, you know. So it was a toughie, but hopefully all this new stuff we got in the game can also affect how I would build the next Lego parts and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy about that. So we are inside of the ride now, trying to make it look quite nice on both ends, because I didn't do it only on the exterior, on the front side, as you see when you come to it. So I needed to do the same as well on this side. Here I'm kind of like just having some spontaneous ideas, trying to figure out what I can do to make it look a little bit more real in here, and you know, something I can actually hang stuff on. So I'm using the scaffolding pieces here, just having them black. I know it's inside, guys, and as I say, I was not really focusing so much on the interior, mainly the exterior, because that's what you see when you come here, you know. And yeah, and there's no really need to add so many more pieces to this park. So I thought I was thinking smart here, but then I ended up adding a little bit of a few stuff inside here as well anyways. But the main thing, the middle of the ride itself, I'm not sure what I will do there. As I said, might add some cars or something, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet. But I'm adding the last bits in here, trying to make it look quite cool in here too, with the light arches here, and just trying to make it look quite nice inside too. But smaller detailing, that's more the main thing I was talking about. Like, that's not gonna really happen in here. It's mainly just some support work to make it look nice inside, so actually things make sense. And that's it pretty much. I'm not adding so much lighting either. Just some of those police sirens, I think, that can just, you know, that just turn around constantly, basically. And trying to make it that color as the ride has to. Not to make all the colors clash together and make it look super, super weird, you know. So, yeah, that's kind of like the thing here, guys. I will show you guys a little bit around just on this plaza, what I did off camera, so you guys can get an idea on how this is gonna look when it's done. But I don't think I will get back to this area again in video wise. I haven't actually made a lot of videos in this area, so I felt like this was okay. And the area is kind of meh. The buildings I built here, it's not super detailed, but I will show you guys that when I give you guys a little tour in this area. So, and I can of course show you guys a little bit of the Viking area too, so you can see how far that's also have become, and then a little bird's eye view on the entire park. So here I'm adding the last bits here. As I said, the lighting here, I felt like it was quite cool, but it just looks super, super dumb having them like this in the scaffolding. But I kind of like the effect it does. So I might add something in there or just have it like this. You know, as I said, it wasn't such a big priority to me to get this 100% done inside. But yeah, it works. So, but anyways, guys, pretty much done with the speed build here, so let me take you guys to normal time and show you guys around. Alright guys, we are back in normal time here. And as you can see, the frame rates they're struggling. So I'm gonna try and move the camera as little as possible or as smooth as possible as I can. And also do this. So as you guys can see here, this is kind of like the entrance to Crazy Cars, the ride we just saw me build here. And the music and all that stuff, oh, it's so nice, right? But anyways, I'm gonna move a little bit around here, as you guys can see, in pause mode, so we don't freak out the things here. So this is kind of like the plaza, and if you actually go from the, I haven't actually put barriers and stuff in, so don't mind people walking in into the flower beds and stuff. But now when we're here, this is kind of like the area that you guys heard me explain and build a little bit in here. I try to push play here, and yeah, as you see, it's no good. It's no good. But let's look beside that, and then you guys can see the area here. Here, this guy is kind of like the black diamond I told you about. And here we have the golden wrapped eagle, or what it's called. And then we got the ride you just saw me build. And we got a few shops here too. And then the plaza here. So if I pause it again here, and we move a little bit. Also remember guys, this park has 350k plus pieces. I have no idea what more, because that was when I started the Viking area, it had that. So that is also why it's tanking quite a lot. And I don't have the best rig for all this. So, but as you guys can see here, I did this little building here, which kind of goes well with the eagle. Oops, camera is doing its own thing here, which is kind of it's just a little short one I did. I didn't want it to take the overlook of this, or kind of like shade all the other stuff. So and then I need a sign or something, because you actually go through this little entrance here, and then you enter the guy here, which I also did a little bit of stuff. I made this little fence around here. It's not super crazy, but it works. It does the job. And then there's not, you guys have seen me build this. There's the snack shack over here. We got some shops here and a little sitting area. And yeah, that's pretty much. And then the back side here, as you guys can see, there's not a lot to it. I still need to decorate this side. But you guys kind of like get the image now on how this looks though, right? And I also did a little bit of backstage stuff on this guy. Let's go up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you see, this is kind of like what I was talking about in the video, with like all this stuff here. I'm gonna make look a little bit more prettier and decent. And then I've also redone a few stuff on the main street too. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. You guys haven't seen off camera. And then we got the inside here, which is nothing crazy. As you guys can see, I kept it pretty plain. And yeah. The lights here does a very nice job at night too, which is super cool. Let me see if I can do that so you guys kind of like can see a little bit on how it looks. This is kind of like the nighttime lighting so far here. Look, it's pretty cool with the lights shining and stuff, right? Need a little bit more though, but you guys have a little bit nighttime shot of how it looks so far. But you see, it's not super lit yet. It's mainly all the arches that does the job right now. So definitely a little bit more work on this section too. Let's go in daytime again, and then just a little tiny thing I wanted to show you guys is how nice the transition it has become here now. You see, there's a lot more trees been added, so the Viking area actually is very you can only see the tops of everything, which I really like. And then you go through here, and then I made sort of this little section here too, with some of these, is it cypress they're called? Tuscan cypress, yes. Made this. I still need to fill in a little bit of gaps, you know, and stuff, but it goes. I don't know what I will place in here though. Maybe some shrubs and stuff. That'll probably be it. Okay. So you see, you come here, walk through the Kattegat sign and the entrance, and then you come in to the Viking area, right? Where everything is kind of neat here, right? It's really like you're walking inside of a Viking, not a village really, because there's not really any huts or houses, but it definitely feels like you're walking a Viking area. That's definitely what I wanted to get out of this. And she also did a little bit of stuff on the lake here. And of course, there's still a few things like the roof on the station needs a little bit of work. And then we have the entire river rapids, which is still needs, but that's something I'm gonna have a lot of fun with, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this is the Viking area, guys. And then there's a little transition here from the main street, actually, where you go through here. And then I'm gonna decorate this to like Viking stuff. Definitely do something so it feels like it's a little transition hall that kind of like takes you to the Viking area. So that's the goal with that too. But as you guys can see here, this is pretty much how it looks. And yeah, forget the frame rate, guys. It's just how it is. So I don't know. I'll probably add something here on this little section here. But I don't know what exactly it's gonna be. And I don't know if you guys know the TikTok ride from Tivoli, but it's kind of inspired by it, especially with this little glass overhang here. So yeah. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a little bird's eye view, or not a little, quite big actually. This is Dania, guys. This is the park. Yeah. This is how it's gonna be. So as you guys can see, everything is kind of settled. Now it's just the main gaps. All this, the last part of the go-kart track on the Legoland area. We got the backside, the little forest walk. And I think this area is probably the one that is 100% done. Except for the little dog ride section inside of the botanical garden. But that's pretty much it. So, that is Dania for you guys. I'm pretty satisfied on what we achieved so far. The parking lot is, it's nothing fancy. It's just something that needed. After I saw a lot of people added it, I thought, well, Dania need one too, so I did that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Maybe I can make it play here in the last, before I end it off. So, guys, I do appreciate you for watching. Give the video a like if you think it deserves it. And let me hear you guys' thoughts on how you think this area has become and the entire park is looking. Would love to hear it, guys. So yeah, have an awesome day. And hope to see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.